This is going to be a good one. Ooh, this is perfect to close. Check this out. Let the rest do whatever while you do whatever it takes.
Oh, beautiful.
The only podcast that it will help you grow personally, professionally, and financially. How we doing, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, maybe even good evening by the time that you're listening to this. Welcome to another episode of the Growth Talk with Glenn, where we explore the journeys of exceptional individuals who have pivoted their careers towards remarkable success. Today, I'm thrilled to have one of my good friends, considered a brother, fellow partner, Brian Livingston, with us. Brian is a former police officer turned into an entrepreneur. He's the founder of My Guru Mentoring. With over 2 decades of experience, he had guided hundreds of first responders through careers transitions, helped them to build their business collectively worth over $100 million. Brian, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, Glenn, thank you so much for having me on. I'm honored to be able to spend this time with you because you are just an absolute rock star. So thanks for the invite, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the knowledge and expertise that I know you're going to be sharing today. Brian, if you don't mind, introduce yourself. Who are you as a person, as a professional? What is that you do, and who do you help?
Oh, not a problem. So I think to understand what I do now, we need to go back in time to where I was, so people can really kind of understand the meaning behind what I do. And I go back to 2001, so we're going back 23 years now, and this was pre-cell phone, right? Like this are early ages of cell phone, but you didn't have your alarm set on your phone. You had the clock, right? Had the red numbers on it and everything. And I remember laying in bed at night, and I would alternate between looking up at the ceiling and rolling over and looking at the clock. And I can still, honestly, I could still outline this water stain that we had in the corner of the bedroom. That's how well I still remember this. And I remember laying in bed and thinking, man, these guys were right. And what I mean by they were right was when I came out of police college. You come out of police college and they've just, built you up, right? And you are 10 feet tall and you are bulletproof and you're ready to take on the world of law and order and help people, right? And so first week I'm there, one of the first guys that I meet, he walks up, he introduces himself, and he goes, "Get out." And I'm like, "What do you mean, get out?" He goes, "Do not become a police officer." He goes, quit right now. And I was like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm sorry you hate your job, but this is my career, right? I'm ready to go. And then another guy walks up to me, introduces himself to me, and he says, "How well do you sleep at night?" And I said, I sleep great. And he goes, that's going to end. Your sleep is going to become non-existent for you.
Wow.
And so there I am, right, laying there in the middle of the night, knowing in a few hours I've got to go to work, and I can't sleep. I am so stressed out beyond belief. And then I start thinking about the third person, and the third person was my dad. And my dad told me, well, when I became a police officer, he goes, well, once you get to the department, you're out of college, pick 2 people that really have it together and fashion your careers after them, right? Find them a mentor. Right? Which we know is so important. And so I picked 2 guys. One guy went on and eventually became the chief of police. Phenomenal guy, always just a super awesome, happy person all the time. And the other guy was a corporal. And I just loved the way that he handled himself with police complaints. Just absolutely amazing. He's got it all together. Wife, kids, and 1 year into policing, he took his own life in the locker room. Right, him and I had lockers right across from each other,
That's crazy.
and right there in the locker room, he just decided to end his life. And I'm laying in bed going, my marriage is down the tubes. My kids are literally scared to be around me, even though they're barely old enough
No.
to speak, and one wasn't even speaking yet. And I just I and so my brain starts going to, what, that guy was right too. That's the way to go. My wife will get a small amount from policing if I take my life. And so finally I had to shut it down. I couldn't go back in. And in policing, like I said, you portray this image that you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Mhm.
And having to admit that you're weak and you need help is, you are then just persona non grata,
Mhm.
right? Because you're weak. And I had to go in and just basically let everybody know, hey, I'm a weakling. I can't hack this. I've got to get out.
Wow.
And it was probably one of the most, at the time, the most humiliating experience that I ever had to do in my entire life. When I look back on it now, one of the strongest things a person can ever do is admit that there's a weakness,
Mm.
and that they need help
If they need help.
with that, right? um that's stronger, way stronger than ever hiding it from everybody. So I left policing, and I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do. But I knew, because of the fact that I had left and why I had left,
Mm.
I wasn't going to be able to go into any type of government job, right? Because that was going to follow me. And so I had to become an entrepreneur. And so that's kind of where I started my entrepreneurial journey. Goes back to when I was 9 years old, but that was really when I had to start. I had to go and I had to create an income
Mm.
for
Good
for for my
decision.
for my family from scratch.
Wow.
So that's kind of where everything started. And to understand where I'm at now, you need to understand, and why I do it. You know, I really want to help those people that are stuck like that. They've hit what I call that point where they can't go back to work anymore. And
Mm.
it doesn't matter what the job is. My initial first was, I want to focus on just first responders, right? Because I
Oh.
was one, and they always have a special place in my heart. But everyone, when they're in a business, not everyone, but a lot of people at some time just hit that point where they go, I can't go back.
Mm.
But whatever the stresses are related to that job, that career, they've got to move on. And I know how hard it was to do it by myself, to do it without an entrepreneurial mentor. My brother was salaried, my dad was salaried, my mom was salaried. You went and you got a job, you got a salary, and you
Yeah.
got a pension, and that's what you did. And so I really want to help those people, guide them through it, so that they don't fall into all the pitfalls, the mistakes that I made.
Mm.
Let's go around all those and let's just drive them directly to success.
I love that. And let's talk about that moment, Brian, that you decided and you made that decision, right? Like when you decide to transition from being a police officer to mentoring others, whether it was a business or personal, why did you took that decision and then take the role as a mentor or a coach or a consultant?
The reason why is because I know how tough it was for me, right? Like I know how I struggled, right? And I tried a couple different things and they didn't work. Um, you know, and then I kind of backwards fell into having having the ability to buy out a business, right? And but I know even after I bought out that business, I still didn't have a mentor,
Mm,
right? I didn't know how to create the proper foundation to build off of. I know I didn't get my mind right about money, right? And money is such a huge sticking point for people. They get this belief that the scarcity mindset that we talk about, and how there's a finite number of dollars, and like being middle class is a great thing to aspire to, which really just means you're going broke more slowly,
yeah.
um, but you're still going broke. And being able to change that mindset and flip that switch in my head to realize that, you know, yeah, I'm going to have to put in a ton of effort, right? As Grant Cardone says, we got to 10x that effort,
Big time.
right? Um, but to know that there really is no ceiling to what it is that you want to do if you build it properly, if you have the proper foundation so that as you hit those sticking points in your business, you've got everything structured right so that you can continue to grow.
Mm,
And people don't know that. And people who have been in a salaried position, that they just look at it and they go, well, I've got a salary over here, and it's not normally not taking care of my needs, and they're having to beg, borrow, and steal to get by,
yeah.
and but they've still got a guaranteed income, right? And so they versus the unknown, right? And even though they need to go over to the unknown, they stay trapped. And mentally, that does things to people where it makes it so difficult on our family.
Mm,
You may not even realize it, but my wife at one point in counseling that we did, she said to me, she said, I love the person that you used to be,
wow.
and that hurt, like that hurt so bad. But then I realized what I had become, and I knew I had to get back to the person that I was, that she deserved and she loved, and my kids
Mhm.
deserved, right? And so I there's so many people out there that need the help, and it's just important to get the message out there that you're not alone,
Mm,
right? There's we me, you, we're out there to help you, because I know you've got your own journey,
yeah.
and I know it wasn't simple for you,
It wasn't
you know
at all.
and you know but now we're fortunate enough that we've found our mentors, and we're in communities where you and I get to build and grow off of
Yeah.
each other, and that just needs to be shared.
I love that. And you know what is in that journey, you become a different, a better version of yourself through that journey. And by not quitting, overcoming obstacles, and just keep pushing towards the goals, towards the targets, towards the mission, towards the vision, boom, we get the results. Let me ask you this. Right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, you aim to mentor 10,000 first responders to create a business each worth at least $2.5 million. What drove you to set such a big goal?
Honestly, I don't think I've set that goal high enough
Ooh.
to tell you the truth. You know, um, but I want them to be able to achieve that financial independence, right? I want them to know that they've got enough money, enough net worth underneath them that they're now taken care of, and more importantly, their family is taken care of, their children are taken care of. Like everything that I do now is to support them, because I don't want them to have to go through the things that I went through. And there's different ideas towards that, different beliefs, right? Some people are like, well, my children need to learn to struggle.
Mm.
Well, they need to fight for it. They shouldn't just be gifted a trust fund and whatever. But I'm doing what I do so they don't have to go through what I went through,
Mm.
you know. And I want them to be able to have the opportunity to do whatever it is in this world. And I've got two children that have gone in polar opposite directions. Well, one is all about education,
Uh-huh.
and the other is all about business and making money,
I
right?
love that.
My one daughter, that's all about making the
I
money.
love that.
But I want them to have that opportunity to be able to do what they want to do with their life. And that's what drives me. And so I want to be able to help. The first responders specifically, like I said, but other people too, because other people have the same struggle, you know? And so I don't want people to look at it and go, well, he just deals with first responders. No, if you are transitioning, if you need to set up a side gig, or you need to turn your side gig full time, or whatever it is, I want to be there for them to help them get to their goals and realize that the goals that we set for ourselves are usually too easy to achieve,
Mm.
you know. And when we suddenly look at it and we go, well, you know what, I want to make $100,000 this year, and you know exactly what I'm going to say. Well, then we're going to make $1 million this year,
Correct.
right? We're going to take that goal, we're going to 10x it. And I would, as I tell people, you need to shoot for the stars, not shoot at the ground, because you will never miss the ground when you shoot at it.
Mm.
And that's what some of our goals that we set for ourselves are like, and then we still think it's going to be hard to get there. Right. But when we say, no, you're not going to make 100,000, we're going for 1 million.
Mm.
And we change the whole business model, and we do the math. As you know, we reverse engineer the math,
Yeah.
right? So you can see, holy crow, that's actually
Possible.
achievable,
Yes.
right?
It almost becomes easier. Like, okay, now we're going for 1 million, 100,000. That's gonna be easy, right? When you have those massive goals.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you're like, it's your fourth month in, and all of a sudden you've made $100,000. And, but if we don't help those people expand their mindset, then 4 months in, they're going to be at $25,000.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, I'm still on my way to my goal. Well, let's, what's your BHAG, right? What's your big, hairy, audacious goal, right? And then let's create the plan to achieve it. And I want to help people to be able to do that. And I honestly don't think 10,000's enough. I think we need to get our message out to way more people than that.
What will be the number? Now that you're thinking about it, when you say 10,000, what will be that number now?
I would, let's 10x that then.
Yeah.
Right. Let's make that 100,000.
Yeah.
And that's doable. I know, we can sit down and we can do that math. You and I can do that math in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And figure out what we've got to do. And, I might not hit it this year and I might not hit it next year, but let's get everyone out there to change their mindset. All these mom and pop businesses that, they're solopreneurs, really, right? Like they're, and they're working 7 days a week and they're, I just spoke with a guy. I took my daughter's car in to get fixed. I was referred over to this guy. And he says to me, well, you got to us just in time because I'm closing my business. And I said, well, why? What happened? He goes, oh, well, we're just not making ends meet and everything. And, I could make more money working for somebody else than I'm making on my own. And then he says to me, I do honest quotes and I've never advertised. And it was like a badge of, it was like a badge of honor to him, right? He's like, I did all of this without doing any marketing, without letting anybody know that I'm out there.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm looking at it going, and you're shutting down. And so these mom and pops need to understand that they're dying from obscurity. Right? It may be a fast death or it may be a slow death, right? But they're still dying because they're in this mindset, especially, the storefronts, right? The storefront thing is location, 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 right? And if I just sit here and wait for people, they're going to walk in the door. Well, that's
not how it goes.
Yeah, like there's one business where I was at, where I live, and we drive by it every day, and they had this big sign, and I'm like, I don't know what you do. Like I've absolutely, it was in handwritten script and everything, and I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what you do. Well, guess what? They shut down.
Yeah.
Like it just, so we have we have that knowledge, Glenn, right? And that knowledge has got to be shared with as many people as possible so that we can help as many people as we can. And it's so amazing because people will take $1,000 and go and buy a 65-inch TV.
Yeah.
To watch the Super Bowl on.
Yeah.
Right. Or something like that for Netflix.
Yeah.
But they won't put $1,000 into building their business, into themselves, right? And to try and grow to become a better person and to become a better business.
Wow.
Whereas if you take that $1,000 and you invest in yourself, then you're going to be able to buy 1,000 of those TVs.
Yeah.
If you want to, and you can have one in your kitchen and your bathroom, and but instead we look for this, we try and fill that void with some type of short-term temporary happiness, thinking that that's going to solve the issue. And we use that money that really we don't even have.
Yeah.
Normally we're taking it on credit. We're using Visa or MasterCard. right? And like I look at debt and I go, I use that debt,
Yeah.
right? Even though my credit card, I think, charges me 18%, sure, bring it on. I will use that debt
Yeah.
and I will make way more than 18%. Using that debt. Like I took my business last year and it increased by 270%,
Wow.
last year. And month over month, if you even look at March of 2020, or sorry, January of 2022 to January 2024, I'm up 400%.
That's amazing.
And that's with an already well-established business. It's not like I went from making $1 to $4.
Yep.
My business was already the dominant business in my area, because I live up in Canada, in my area of the province.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And you still
we've
went
now,
for it.
yep, yep,
Increased it
and
400%.
yep,
Wow. But you see, that goes back to like there is limitless. There's no limit in how far you can go into your business. Brian, let me ask you this. If you can go back and have a coffee with the younger version of yourself, right? Right then when you were starting that business that you have right now that you grew 400%, what advice or recommendation you will give to the younger version of yourself?
find a mentor.
Mm,
That's the first. Get your mind right about money. Make a plan. Right? That plan can always adapt and change. But if we don't have a roadmap as to where we're wanting to go, we don't know how we're going to get there.
wow.
Right? That's the biggest thing. If I could go back and I could actually go and find someone, like I read, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, Og Mandino, Zig Ziglar. Like I was reading everything I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
But to actually have a real time mentor, right? Which we have in our community. And we also, we've got Grant, right? We've got Jared, we've got Sherry and Jody and Dragon and Elena and Natalie and Brandon. And,
Yeah.
we've got so many of these people that, and Elliot, I'm sorry, and Elliot,
Yes.
you know, to how who are doing it,
Yeah.
right? They're actively doing it. Find someone that's doing what you want to do
Mm.
and can help, and they will help you get there. The it's lonely at the top. No, it ain't. There's just different tier levels of people,
Yeah.
you know? And so those people are more than willing to help you get there. They're
Mm.
usually some of the most giving people who are out there, especially the ones who have struggled,
Oof.
right? They really want to help you get through it because they know what they had to do. Like you tell me, I'll ask you. I'm now the interviewer.
Yeah.
How easy was your struggle?
It wasn't easy at all.
Do you
It
want to help people so that they don't have to do that?
absolutely. And that's the reason why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Because after went to the struggle, I suffered it, I didn't quit. Boom, I get to see a miracle right after the struggle. And now, since I went through it, like you mentioned earlier, now I'm able to almost provide you with a shortcut so you don't
Exactly.
make mistakes. Now, is it gonna be easy? It won't be easy.
No.
Like a lot of people I see, they underestimate the effort, the discipline, the commitment, the time that it takes in order to achieve your goals and targets. For
Yeah.
me personally, it was all about that person that I needed to become. And through that journey, I became a different person, and I keep investing in myself on a daily basis. because I want to continue becoming a better version of myself. If that even
Yes.
makes sense.
No, completely. I completely agree with that. And you know, people are out there that will help you.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's not me, if it's not you, Glenn, find someone that will. Find someone who's done it so that they can help you do it.
Mm. Brian, as we wrapping up, you might have heard this question before from one of my biggest mentors. What is 10x mean to you specifically?
10x means to me that whatever you plan in life, you deserve 10 times that.
Mm.
You know, and you know, but that also means that whatever you're planning in life, you actually need to put in 10 times the effort that you think that you need to do to put it in.
To put it in.
But is it worth it? Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. We talked about
You
this,
know,
pay the price today. So you could do whatever you want tomorrow. And when we say tomorrow, you know, the
yep.
journey, right? The journey. I love it, man. Brian, I cannot thank you enough for sharing all your expertise, your knowledge, your time. For the listeners, if you want to learn more about Brian and his mentoring programs, Brian, how can they find out about you more?
They can go to mymentoring.guru. From there, they can reach out to me. We can set up a time to chat, you know, and really what it comes down to is let's get it figured out, you know, even if we don't end up working together, let's get your new life designed so that we can help get you on the right path. And if it's not me that's going to help them, maybe I can direct them to you because you're a better fit, or you know, so get them in front of the right person that's going to be able to help them achieve what they want to do.
So pretty much make a decision. If you really want to go to the next level, make a decision, invest in yourself. I mean, me, Brian, and many other of our fellow business partners, we offer free strategy sessions just to find out where you are and actually show you exactly how can we help you step by step. So it's all up to you. Like, make a decision, commit to it, and don't look back.
Yeah.
Anything else, Brian, that you
100%.
want to share?
No, just thank you for having me on, brother. You are an absolute genius. You motivate me every day. And you know what? People should be reaching out to you, brother, because I know what you are doing for those mentees that you have underneath you. And I know you're very humble about it, but it's insane, brother. The things that you are doing for people.
Thank you.
And man, they need to be reaching out to you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And I appreciate, again, your time, your knowledge, your expertise. Would it be okay if we provide more value to our listeners from
I
page
would, page 17. I don't know. I
17?
don't even know what, I don't have the pages memorized yet. What is it?
This is going to be a good one. Ooh, this is perfect to close. Check this out. Let the rest do whatever while you do whatever it takes.
Oh, beautiful.
I don't
Guys, right in.
I don't think there is a better quote to close and goes with everything that we're talking about today. Again, Brian, thank you for the opportunity. Always wishing you the best of success, health, and wealth. And let's go help more people.
Oh, thanks again, brother. Take care. Have a great day, everybody.
Let's go.